Many of the revivals in history have been marked by widespread weeping and repentance. More modern revivals and outpouring awakenings seem to be marked by joy and release. Why is this?
Both are important. Um, Joy is the biggest stumbling block to the present move for people who are familiar with the history of revival is that people who don't deserve joy are getting it.
Hmm.
And to me, it's the greatest testimony that this is a revival of grace.
Wow.
Repentance, the outcome of repentance is a change in a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
Repentance means to change the way you think.
Yeah.
So if a person weeps, which I think is important, the brokenness, in a person's life over a lifestyle of sin or whatever, it's a big deal. It's an important thing. But if somebody has an encounter with God and they experience joy, and they come out at the same place, the same result, then we shouldn't have a complaint.
Yeah.
Weeping is to repentance what joy is to salvation. And some people just get there a little bit differently. We love the verse where God says, I'm going to do a new thing, but we get upset when he does it differently. And that's kind of what we're experiencing. We have to examine the fruit.
Yeah.
And the fruit is there are lives that are just dramatically changed because they encountered the goodness of the Lord.
Yeah.
Here's what I've noticed. I see a lot of people come into this movement through joy. And in the process, they discover the contrast of what God has done in their life compared to what they were. And in that process, there's deep, deep brokenness.
Wow.
The brokenness is essential.
Yeah.
But God just brings people there in different ways.
Yeah.
And for us to insist he move that the same way now as he did maybe in Wesley's day or Finney's day or something, we don't have the right to do that.
Yeah.
What we have the right to do is give him place to do what he wants.
Wow.
And then cooperate with him.
Yeah.
And I believe that this thing of joy is one of the great profound lessons of the hour, is that this is a revival of grace, and he's going to insist we keep it a revival of grace. In fact, every place that I know of where legalism has entered into this revival of grace, every place that I know of where legalism has entered in, it has ended. But everyone who has sustained this movement as an expression of joy and grace, it's continued to this day.
Wow.
And we need to realize that.
You feel this whole thing of joy is kind of the offense that we need to get over.
It is. You're right.
In this modern move.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow.
Yep. God's doing something different.
Yeah.
But it's bringing about the result that everybody wants. That's changed lives.
Yeah.
But sometimes his way of doing it is so offensive that people they get really angry. These people should be weeping and they're laughing.
Yeah.
Okay? That historically you're right. Now, how do you explain their healed marriage, their love for worshiping God, their passion for the scriptures?
Yeah.
It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
I understand the reasoning, but we've got to be a little bit more patient to see what God's actually doing in people's lives.
The outcome of
the outcome, exactly.
That's good.